Hello and welcome to another conversation. This time we are going to be meeting with Beauty is Essential. So it's my pleasure to welcome you here tonight. My name is Laureen and I'll be handling the moderating duties. And our first introduction of the night will be Rob and Tracy. Please say hello to the people and tell them about yourself and what you all do.
Hey, you guys. Hey, Lorene. My name is Robert Brown. I'm co-owner of Another Look Hair Salon in South Sac. Been there about 20 years. And also co-owner of Mixed Institute of Cosmetology and Barber.
Oh, well,
Hey,
fantastic.
everyone. My name is Tracy Brown. I'm also co-owner of Another Look Hair Salon and Mixed Institute of Cosmetology. Welcome.
So I'm trying to figure out why I can't see your beautiful face. What's going on? Oh, there she go. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, let's go over to Miss Stephanie. Say hello to your people.
Hey everybody, I am Stephanie Hunter Ray, and I am the owner of Exquisite You Beauty Boutique right here in Sacramento, and I am also a co-founder of the Beauty Ito, and yeah, that's who I am.
Well, welcome to the party, girl. Uh-oh. Say that one more
and
time.
a founding member of Beauty is Essential.
Well, hello there and welcome in. We know that beauty is essential. Let's go to Miss Shari.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shari Wilson. I am owner of Dream Girls Fine Hair Imports and Salon in Los Angeles and Sacramento, and also co-owner of Mixed Institute of Cosmetology and Barber with Tracy and Rob in Kenya. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. Let's go to Miss Tavia.
Monday, everyone. I'm Tavia Jenkins. I am the owner of Double Take Hair Gallery right in the heart of downtown Sacramento.
All right, you in my hood. Okay. Hey.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
welcome. And last but not least, let's go to Miss Kenya Beasley.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
My name is Kenya Beasley. I am the owner of Hair Eco Salon in Rockland, California, and co-owner of Mixed Institute of Barber and Cosmetology with Robin, Tracy, and Shari.
Welcome. Now let's
Thank
get everybody on here because I need to know some information, and I know I'm not the only nosy one out here. So if y'all could tell me about this whole concept of beauty is essential. Somebody explain this to us. Shari, you up? What is this whole concept?
You know what?
Beauty is essential.
Me and Stephanie started, and Tavia and Derek, we started something called Beauty Ito. Each one teach one.
Okay, there you go.
And so we was in the movement trying to get us back to work. And then my partners, Tracy, Rob, Kenya, Cornette, Maurice, we're all trying to get our students back to work or in school, trying to get our students who graduated back to work. And we decided to bring this mission together. You know, we're stronger together. So we came up with Beauty is Essential, and we're doing this too.
So, Miss Stephanie, what does beauty is essential mean to you?
Just what it says. We are essential. We are a huge, ginormous factor here in the world, even in the medical portion of it. We are essential because we can be the first line of defense to anything that you need. Everything that is wrong comes out of your hair, skin, and nails. We all know that. So anything that can be wrong with you is going to tell in those three things, those three elements, hair, skin, and nails. That's going to tell your story first.
Okay. And Miss Tracy, so when you came up with this concept of beauty being essential, why was it pertinent to launch now?
Because of what's going on right now. You know, it is very important. And beauty is very, I'm going to say very one more time, very important. We need to get back to work. Our clients, they need us. We need them. We have bills to pay. We have things to do. We need to get out this house. Beauty is very important.
Right.
So Miss Tavia, when they say beauty is essential, when you think of the word essential, what does that word mean to you?
I believe that something being essential is that it's a need. It's a need. It's something that is needed. And for me, when the word is used essential, to exclude us out of the category of something being essential is just, it's ridiculous, because this is something that is, you know, lifts people's spirits up. Mentally, it's been something that has been proven to like change the thought process and the mind state of people. They come in one way, and you have the ability to the transformation, again, from the hair to mentally transforming you, lifting you up, giving you tools to lead with, making you feel in a better place. So it's absolutely essential, on top of the education. And again, we service all types of, you know, clients who have health conditions, cancer, all kinds of things. And so it's definitely an essential need. That's what something that's needed. It's something that is severely needed. I don't want to be dramatic, say things, but
Yeah.
So let's dig into that a little bit, because when I think of the word essential, I think of important, right? And so, Rob, why is hair care so important to our community in particular? Why is it so important?
It's very important. And you ask, what does essential mean? Yeah, definitely. It means we're needed. There's a lot of essential workers out there right now that are calling our shops each day, each week, wondering when we're going to open up, because we're essential to them. And they need us in order to look professional for when they got to go to work and do their essential job.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who's coming up with who's essential and who's not, but it's clear to me by the hundreds of people that are calling us each day that we are essential. People look good, feel good, they do good. And
That's right.
there's a lot of people out there right now going through some emotional times and have lost loved ones or have lost a job. And every recession that we've ever been in, people have always wanted to come to the beauty or the barbershop to get away from the stress and feel better. But we are essential.
So what happens? What's the atmosphere like for folks who don't go to barbershops and beauty salons? And I know that's not the people that's watching, but for some of us who don't frequent beauty and barbershops, what is it about the atmosphere of a shop, Miss Kenya, that has this effect on people where they leave feeling like $1 million? Tell me about that, how people feel once they're just in the shop and being taken care of. What does that mean to
it's a combination of things. It's not just the feel, it's the look as well. When people come to a salon, whether your first time, have come many times, it's a sense of community. There's a sense of community there. There's a sense of fellowship there. Our ability to transform the way someone sees themselves has a huge impact on their mental health, their ability, their confidence, their ability to do things, to tackle the world. And the community of that, the feel good of that, the what people get from that is pretty much invaluable. And I think it's been underestimated right now. I think one of the bigger things, when you were asking why is beauty essential, I think the essential word came from them categorizing essential businesses, right? And leaving us out of that. And we're like, you know, for a lot of people, our clients, people in the community, a lot of people out there, we are essential to the community, not only into their lives, but into what we do. We don't just do hair. You know, we do stuff in our communities. We add to our communities. We do free things for people who don't visit the lawn. So what we do, our services, what we provide is essential. And so beauty is essential.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sorry.
So if we can get Kenya and Rob and Tracy up. So when we're talking about essential and we're looking at the list that the governor put out of essential businesses, and then we saw the most recent list where they were talking about folks coming out in phases, and they listed you in phase 3.
Yes.
What kind of message did that send to you? And we'll start with Rob and Tracy. What kind of message, like what did that do to you hearing phase 3? Talk to us. What did that do?
It was a slap in the face to us. Again, we are regulated by the State Board of Barber and Cosmetology. which is a part of the consumer affairs. So if we go through all this training in health and safety, and then we go down to you guys after we leave school, and you give us a test, and you give us a license that says that, okay, we're okay to go into a salon, and you know that with us having that license that people are going to be safe when they come to our salons, then how you put us in category 3 with a gym and with some of these other businesses? Like, we go through too much training in health and safety for it to be such a slap in the face. What do you think, Trace?
It is a slap in the face. You know, we totally understand the seriousness of social distancing, and all that we're asking for is just give us a chance to go back into our salons, just to feed our families, you know, to give the people that work in our salons, help them feed their families too, you know, and all we're asking for is just, man, help us.
Yeah,
what's next?
We were preparing to come back.
Yes.
We were looking at some of the safety measures that other businesses were doing. We pulled together with our staff. We started buying gloves. We started buying masks. We paid for someone to come in and really clean and disinfect the salon. And we were ready for May 1st. Like we really prepared. And to push us back 2 months, it's a real slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Ms. Kenya, so when we talk about this industry being regulated by you said Consumer Affairs, is that what you said?
Department of Consumer
Department of Consumer Affairs. Yeah. Who else is in your category that is also under that department?
So we're regulated by the Department of Consumer Affairs and sub-regulated by the Board of Barbering and Cosmetology. Dentists and nurses are also regulated and licensed through the Department of Consumer Affairs. So know that we have to go through the same amount of training in safety and infection control as a lot of the people in those fields. So any cosmetologist or barber that's gone to state board knows that most of that test is health, safety, and infection control. We have to go through strenuous amounts of training, both practically, that's using our hands, and theoretically on how to keep people safe. We're prepared. We do 1,600 hours of training on how to do these things. And when we go to get our license, they're not training us or testing us who does the best haircut or the best relaxer. They're looking to see if you sanitize your hands. Did you wipe down your stations? Did you wipe your guard? When you're cutting, when you're making sure you were safe with that client. Everything we're tested on, and our license allows us to do safety procedures and control different types of infections, including the coronavirus. And what we were telling, when I was talking to them, I said, it's not that we're fighting, hey, you can't go back. It's that you haven't done the research in our field and in the category you put us in to put us in category 3. We do think we should be in a different category with people who are essential, especially when you drive down the street and you see the line to Krispy Kreme around the corner. Or I go to the dollar store and nobody's wearing protective gear and nobody's cleaning. This is something we do daily. This is something we do all day. And we're like, okay, give us the extra cleaning because it's what we do anyway. And that's what we expect. And we're that responsible.
Gotcha.
So bring it, right?
And that's a great point. And so, I know that there are some things that barbers and cosmetologists can tell, because I believe Stephanie, she's the one who said that you all are the first line of defense. So when we hear the first line of defense, tell me about what type of things you can detect just by the way somebody's hair or scalp appears. And we can go to Robbins and Tracy. Talk to me about what type of things can you see just based on someone's hair texture?
Here's a very sensitive topic when it comes to hair loss, just women and hair loss, period. I'm a certified trichologist, and a trichologist is someone that specializes in hair loss and scalp problems. Scalp problems, say, for instance, like psoriasis, people that have genetic hair loss, medical hair loss issues. What are those clients supposed to do during this time when they really need us the most?
Okay.
So I'm like the middle person between my client and their physician. So they go to their physician to be diagnosed, because I can't diagnose that client, but I can tell you, and I know what's going on with the client. So when that client comes back to me with the diagnosis back from the doctor, from what I already know that they have, and I do the treatments in my salon. So I have a lot of clients now, you know, that their psoriasis is flaring up, their toppers are coming off, and they have nowhere else to go and get them done, because that's something that I do. So I do think that I am very essential to my clients and my community right now.
And so I understand that these are things that you guys see a lot. People coming in with different conditions, different things going on with their hair. And I understand, Shari, that you have a particular experience with someone who came in to see you. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I had a client that came in and I kept telling her that her iron was low. I kept telling her something was wrong with your hair. Something was wrong with your hair. I think it's your iron or your vitamin D. And I kept telling her to talk to her doctor. And the doctor refused to do blood work. So the second time she came in, I told her to tell your doctor that you're weak, you're tired, you drive at night, and you keep falling asleep at the wheel. Well, she finally told her doctor. Her doctor said that I have you come in to do blood work. Well, that Thursday, she went to see the doctor. That Friday morning, they told her to get to the emergency room ASAP. She needed to have a blood transfusion.
Wow.
And I'll actually post that video if people want to. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And so, Miss Stephanie, I heard that you had an experience recently where someone was referred to you by a doctor. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we had a young lady. She had some kind of a hair condition where she was getting nodules actually on her hair, and they needed to give her a treatment, but they couldn't get to her because she had so much hair. So she needed a haircut where it can be short enough to get to the scalp so she could receive the treatment she was supposed to receive. So she literally, her doctor prescribed a haircut for her. So I don't understand how they can say we're not essential when we have doctors prescribing us to do the client's hair. They can't get their medical attention without having the haircut. I mean, that right there says a whole bunch in itself.
Well, that sounds like you're pretty essential to me. So can you explain something to me? When you said she had nodules, what exactly are we talking about?
So she was getting these, I don't know what it was on her hair, and I left the letter at home, but it was like little, you know how the hair follicle, when you pull it up, the follicle comes off the scalp? So you know when your hair gets braided?
Okay. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Like little...
I ain't gonna even lie to you. Explain it to me like I'm I ain't never heard of it. So go ahead and just explain it to us.
Okay, so see, that's why we're essential, because we know about all that. But
that's right.
It was like the strands of hair she was getting, the follicle was like actually attaching to the strands of hair, which was crazy.
So that's,
and it was like leaving a buildup on the hair. It was what would you say?
It's tension. So that's the tension alopecia. Yeah.
Okay, so when you said tension, that means somebody braided it?
All on her hair.
Somebody braided
it had nothing to do with braids. She had naturally curly hair. So she had the follicles were all on the hair, and then it was making the hair like a buildup, like some kind of a film on the hair. And the doctor, they couldn't get off. They prescribed her shampoo. They prescribed all this stuff for her, and she couldn't get rid of it. And it was making her hair just kind of matte together. It was just the weirdest thing. I forget what it was called. Actually, hold on. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Because
while you pull that up, go ahead and pull it up, and we're gonna cut over here to Miss Tracy, because you was telling us about some tension alopecia, and like when you talk about tension, to me that means somebody done braided it way too tight and the hair is falling out. And I'm not no hairdresser and I'm not essential, but maybe you can explain to me about tension alopecia.
The tension, that's actually traction alopecia. So that's from either braids being braided too tight, ponytails being pulled too tight, any type of tension pulling on the hair that will pull out the hair follicles. So you need to come in, get those braids out their hair, and start getting some treatments to get those hair follicles to start stimulating and wanting to grow, for the hair to grow back. Because if
Okay.
they continue, then they're going to have permanent hair loss.
And this
Okay.
is going to happen.
Yeah.
Permanent hair
Mhm.
loss.
And they'll
Okay.
turn into scarring alopecia, and then it's permanent hair loss.
Right. And so explain this to me. So when the doctors send you guys patients and you see this type of thing, what type of things do the doctors do besides send them to you? Like she said that she had to have her hair cut for some treatment. So what type of treatment was she looking at? Or, you know, like I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm being told. So Stephanie, what type of treatment was she
Yeah.
looking at?
Answer that.
So what it was says, this is actually from the doctor. I don't know if you guys can
No,
see
we
this
can't
or
see that,
not.
girl. Just read it. Go and read
Okay,
it.
well, it's an email, but it just says the client needs to have her hair cut as short as possible to the scalp. The existing nodules on the hair shafts cannot be removed by current treatment. So he was
she would be
already
able to
trying
get
to
a
treat her.
biopsy.
Yeah, she was already being
Mhm.
treated and it couldn't be removed.
Because she had too much hair.
So she had a lot of hair, and then it was saying that it was being attached to the newly growing hair. Therefore, existing ones have to be removed by cutting the hair down to the scalp. The treatment outcome will be evident after the hair grows. So she needed to get the hair cut down because whatever they were doing wasn't working for her with the
Got
hair.
you. And so, Miss Tavia, what type of experiences have you had where folks had come in based on something that may have been going on with their hair and they needed a professional opinion?
Okay, so for me, I have had several clients who have had breast cancer, and so for that it's very near and dear to me because that. Can you imagine what that does to the psyche of the mind when someone literally goes from having this long hair that's down here to the middle of their back to being all gone? And so you're taking them, you honestly also become their therapist. You haven't even gotten to the step yet of getting ready to take all their hair off because it's just shedding off. And then we go to the next step of finding units and other things for their hair, wigs, units, to try and to lift them up, to do something different, to educate them on the hair process of your hair will be, your hair will grow back. It could potentially grow back another grade of hair. I know cases where people, it was a softer texture when the hair grew back, but it's just all of those things that just making them feel beautiful. Educating them on their hair, what's going on with their hair. Don't worry, it's going to come back. This is the process because of the medicine and the situation of what the cancer does and chemo treatments. And so what we do is, and even if you go to the doctors, they now are getting ready to implement where they have the insurance where you can actually, you can be billed, from their insurance company. So for me, I know that I have a lot of my clients, I have had them to get the units for me. We went through the process of literally in the chair, the tears, crying, to them feeling a little bit better, feeling inspired and motivated because they look beautiful. Talking them through this, being an ear for them, just giving them the whole, step by step, the process of what is about to happen. I'm here for you. Don't worry. We're going to, just really showing them inspiration pictures of what your hair will look like, what we're going to do next to your hair. We can have 31 flavors of these different types of units that you want. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
like that. So it's really what we do is it's not just something simple or a little cut. Oh, come in.
Gotcha.
Can I say something?
Of course you can say something.
We haven't touched on the fact that a lot of doctors do refer people to us because of different ailments they have. We have dermatologists that often refer a lot of people to hairdressers, or people have gone to dermatologists because the dermatologists haven't taken the time or won't assess what's going on. So when we talk about alopecia, eczema, and different things that they're experiencing, there's a lot of times where they can't get help from a medical professional. and they come to a hairdresser and we assess their needs. We give them treatments. We put them on a plan that's going to help them with both their hair and a lot of times, particularly their scalp. And then we help them with the mental part, like Tavia was talking about. But there's also groups like the American Cancer Society that have programs, which I've been a volunteer of, where we go into hospitals and we teach women who are going through chemotherapy or going through different medical treatments, how to put their eyebrows back on, how to tie head wraps. I went through a 48-hour training on how to be in that program and how to assess the needs of people who are going through different medical conditions or medical procedures. So what we do is essential to the clients there, and they also made us essential in these hospitals and in these programs. So
Yes.
we definitely need to be viewed differently, and we need to be in phase 2. And I'm going to say that the entire time we're on phase 2.
Yes.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. So, Rob, we recently got to see a clip of you on the news, and you were expressing how this COVID-19 situation is impacting your family. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, about the things that you wanted to express, that maybe they cut out the clip or that they didn't, portray or give the full display of what it was you were trying to say?
Sure. I'm going to try to speak on that topic without getting upset, because every time I think about it, it hurts.
Yeah.
Some of the things people don't realize is I hear a lot of people that say, oh, well, you guys don't have to pay your rent. You guys don't have to pay your bills, and you guys are getting government help. Not true, right?
Not everybody.
We still have to pay our rent for work. And then even if you talk to your landlord, and the thing was you had to come up with an agreement with your landlord. I'll give you, for instance, my landlord said, okay, this is the agreement. When you're done for these 2 months, after the COVID is over, I'll give you 2 months to pay all your back rent. When I thought it was only going to be 2 months that we're going to be off, I was like, okay, I'll sign it. You're helping. Thank you. Now we're going to be off for 4 months. It's going to be impossible for me to pay 4 months of back rent plus the current rent coming up within 2 months. So that's something I get upset about. Another thing is everyone seems to think we got all these loans coming through and all this money is coming through. I applied for assistance, disaster assistance back April 2nd. I still haven't received anything. They just made it unemployment available for self-employed people. So even now that I just applied for that, that might take weeks for that to come. And then that's still not enough money to cover the cost of owning and running a business that housed 19 cosmetologists and barbers. So, when I went and I spoke to the news, I thought they were going to cover some of these points. They didn't. So I got upset and I wrote this. I got up early that morning and I just wrote a letter, and I'm pleading for people to help us. I'm pleading. It's a step before begging. I'm pleading for people to help us. We are proud people that have built our businesses up from scratch, from zero, right? And a lot of times with no loan, just with the help of family. And we've been running this thing, my wife and I have been running our business for 20 years. And we've invested back into the community. It's not just about cutting here. I serve on the board of the Macro Partnership for the last 8 years. I was instrumental in helping getting a community center built right on the corner of Mac, right off Mac Road and Center Parkway. That community center services hundreds of kids every day that don't have a place to go. If you're familiar with Mac Road, it's a lot of apartments, right? It's not just about cutting here. It's about, we're the hub of our community. We're the hub. So now most of the African-American males in my community, they don't have a place to come and gather information, figure out what's going on, to get a haircut in a safe environment. It's a lot of people cutting hair on the under right now, going to people's houses to cut hair. They don't have the training we have. So I guess I was a little upset about that when I looked on social media and saw people with no licenses telling people, man, they can't work, the shops are closed, but call me and I'm coming through to your house, I'll slide through. That's ridiculous, right? And they say that they don't want to open us up because we may not help to stop the spread of COVID-19. That is ridiculous. So that's some of the stuff I wanted to get out there. I got 19 people that depend on my wife and I to have this shop for them to come in, rent a booth, and be able to feed their families. They're looking to us every day for answers. And the sad part about it, what makes me most upset is we don't have a time frame. Nobody cares.
Well, I can definitely see how that would be infuriating. What I want to know, and just give me a quick second, panelists, I want to know if there's anyone in the chat or watching us on Facebook right now that can relate to how my panelists are feeling. Because I think it's one thing to hear from just a few people, but I see that we have over 40 folks watching us right now on this particular platform. And I know that we're streaming live on 4 or 5 different places. But if you have a story that you want to share, please go ahead and type it into the chat. We will put the comments up and you can ask the panelists a question too. Don't just leave it to me because I am not essential, but y'all are. So we want to hear from you. And while we do that segue, I want to talk about, since we know that eventually things are going to open up. Can we put everybody back up on the screen, please? Since we know things are going to open up, can you talk to us about the things that you are doing to prepare yourselves for the opening? So if we can go to Ms. Shari, I know you were putting up a bunch of different things that you were investing in to get yourself ready for reopening eventually, whenever that is. So can we talk about that?
Absolutely. And I actually have it. I just need to grab it. But
you go grab it.
Yeah.
You go grab it, and I'm gonna throw it to Miss Kenya. What type of things are you putting into place for the reopening? What type of guidelines, policies, any of that type of thing? Talk to us about that.
So the state has actually put up for the essential businesses that are open now. They have like an 8-page guideline of what things are required for our essential businesses to be open, and that is the splash guards or the sneeze guards, or what they're calling them. They are asking for us to take the temperature of our employees before they come in and ask them questions before they start work. You know, have they been exposed to COVID-19? Are they taking care of anybody at home that may have symptoms of COVID-19? And do they have a fever? And then we're required to take their temperature before they come in. We're being asked to wear shields and masks, gloves, set up sanitation stations at each and every workstation and upon coming in. There's no more waiting area, right? So when you come into the salon, you're not allowed to wait anymore. You either have to wait in your car and be called in for your service. It's only one person per service now. So you're not allowed to stack clients anymore. One service, and then they're still trying to go with the 10 people per building thing. So you can't have over 10 people in. They want markings on the floor that make sure that everybody's at least 6 feet apart. And if you can't provide the 6 feet apart difference, they're asking that you put up some partitions or do some type of scheduling so that it can be shifted. You would provide shifts so that you can continue to maintain social distancing. Down to bringing bags in the salon. They're asking that you not bring bags, but maybe you come in with your keys in the wallet and then that's wrapped and taken care of. We all went through, we retook a test on Barbicide. You'll see this influx of people like posting their sanitation certification, which we all already have, but they're doing that to reassure the people coming in that we've gone through sanitation measures. So they're requiring those sanitation measures, and they're requiring that we let people know what could possibly be the dangers of coming to a place. But again, we're doing more than most stores are doing right now.
Okay. And so we'll throw it to Shari so she can start to show us the type of things that you guys are investing in to make sure you keep yourselves and your clients safe. What do you got, girl?
We are ready. We are ready, y'all.
We are ready.
We care about our safety and we care about our clients' safety. So we are ready. We have our mask, okay? We have our shield. So when we're washing, I mean, we're making sure we do everything possible. We're not just saying we want to come back to work, but what we're saying is we want to come back to work safely and do what we have to do to make sure nothing is passed. We also have the temperature. So before they even walk into our salon, we're making sure first we're asking them questions. They can't.
Give us an example of a question you're asking. What type of questions we asking?
Have you been around anyone who had COVID-19? Have you had a fever? Have you had a cough? We're asking, then we have a list of questions. And then also, that's not just it. We're going to take your temperature. If your temperature is too high, turn around. You can't come in. So we're doing everything. And I just want to make this clear. We're not just saying we want to get back to work, but we're saying we want to get back to work safely. We care about our clients. I have kids. Tracy and everybody on here have kids. We don't want to go to work and bring nothing back home to our family at all. So what we're saying is, and I want to make this clear again, what we're saying is that we are more than capable. If the little boys at the grocery store that's 15, 16, 17 at the grocery store can go to work and we can trust them for being safe, you can trust us too. This is what we do. This is how we got our life. Okay.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay. And so talk to me about, so I know that you all recently submitted some guidelines to the city and to, I believe did we send them to the state as well? Did you guys submit guidelines?
Yes, I sent it to the governor and also the mayor.
Okay. Now talk to me about why that was important for you all to take initiative in that.
First of all, the BSBA sent it on our behalf. And I'm going to let Rob answer that question.
So look, guys, we're not just on here trying to raise hell and we want to go back to work. It's business as usual. We want to be part of the solution. All we're asking is that you allow us to come to the table. You know, I'm the first one to tell my employees, if you have a problem, don't just bring me the problem, bring me some answers and a solution. And that's what we've done. We've all gotten together with Selena, with the Black Small Business Association, and we drafted a letter, and we also put together additional safety measures for them to not have to do that much work. We're trained in health and safety. We know what's going to keep our clients safe. So why not draft a letter, show them the additional safety measures we're going to use, and we gave it to them. Now we're just waiting to hear something.
And just so we're clear, we want to make sure that folks understand that you all want to be a partner with the city and the state. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Because you guys are adhering to the shelter at home standard right now. But you want to be a partner. You don't want to be like we see all these other folks opening up and going against the law. But you guys want to set the example by following the protocols, but yet advocating for yourselves to get back to work safely and responsibly. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest concerns is that with us not being open and not being able to service clients right now, it's allowing for a whole nother market of people who are unlicensed, untrained to go out and provide services that and I'm not saying they're not skilled. That's not what I'm saying. But we have been trained in disinfection, sanitation, health, and safety. They don't have that same training and they haven't been licensed, right? And so they're going into these homes and can be spreading this virus from home to home and infecting our communities. And what I don't want to happen personally is for my clients to, feel so desperate that they seek, right, this type of these people, and then they end up having a virus, right? I have someone, well, can I get a braider to my home? And I'm like, I'm sure you can, but can it be someone licensed? Can we make sure they have some type of certification? Can we at least regulate the establishment? Can we do this in a controlled environment? Unless they open us back up, right? We can't help.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm seeing something that was just posted. It says, The state of California has determined that essential businesses are those establishments that sell unprepared foods, as well as businesses that provide food, shelter, and social services, as well as other necessities of life for economically disadvantaged or otherwise needy individuals.
Thank you.
Food, canned food, or dried goods. You guys should definitely set up shop with chips, top ramen, canned and that way you'd be considered essential in order to operate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Love it.
does anybody want to just,
Can I
what do you
please?
think about that?
Can I please? So one of one of the regulations that they put up for essential or for us is that they don't want any type of self-serve stations. So that means people can't go get their own water. They don't want anybody to go to an area and serve themselves. So setting up with top ramen and food, they probably won't allow us to do. But I thought that was ironic too. No self-serve stations. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think who put that up? Did Nikisha put that up? Who put that up? Nikisha put that up? You know what?
Keisha.
I mean, way to go get that definition, sis. We like it. Way to go get it. So basically, it sounds like there is a double standard in the definition. So people who have, it says unprepared foods. So I'm wondering if anybody can explain to us why different restaurants are open, because they have prepared foods for sale, right? Or what? I'm just trying to understand the difference between people who provide a service like hair, because I don't know. I know y'all can't see my roots, but they are all gray. The shout out for the hat. But you know, there are people, like I've been seeing people do news conferences. I've been getting on Zooms and nobody has any haircuts. Everybody's looking real rough. But it's ironic to me that there are some people in positions of powers that seem to be nicely groomed,
Clean cut.
But they still have their essential barber or stylist.
Exactly.
So talk to me about when you guys see different shops with non-melanated folks opening up. What type of message is that sending to the Black barbers and cosmetologists?
If we was to do that, we would not, it will be a whole different situation. Okay.
We would be
The way
blamed.
I mean, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Either.
I wish I had the courage to do what they're doing. I wish I could open up on Elk Grove Boulevard. I know that my city would be at my door knocking it down as soon as I do that. They're able to do it. Nothing's happening to them. But let one of us do it. It's a whole different situation. And trust me, we understand why they're doing it, because we need to do it too.
Yeah.
Again, no longer coming through unemployment. And I always tell people that's being our feeds, you guys, this is about money. You guys don't understand. You guys don't want to pass. I mean, this is serious and all this other stuff. But those people that's talking, they're getting a check.
They're not sitting at home.
Right.
They're getting a check. They're probably sitting at home, but they're getting a check.
Yep.
And so what I tell them is let the government say to you, your check is gone. And then you run through your savings for a month or two.
Preach.
What would you do?
Right.
What would you do? It's easier for people to say when they got their pockets full and their check is coming in to stay at home. But I don't want nobody else telling me to stay at home. When I have 4 boys, a husband, I'm trying to still help my girls at the salon. It's a lot. It's a lot on us. We still got bills at the salon. You know, we're trying to hold it together. We're trying to, and all we're saying is let us go back to work. We're not even asking for a handout.
No.
Let us go back to work and do it safely.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
And if you don't want to get your hair done by us, then
Stay at
don't
home.
come. Stay home. Stay home. Stay home. Let the people that we love and want to get their hair done, let them get their hair done. You that don't want to get your hair done, you stay home.
Stay home.
You get your check. Let us work.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying about the other shops opening up. If we were to do that, we're defiant. We're angry. We're just. It's wrong if we do it. For other people, they're desperate. It's sad. It's a sad story. But if we do it, we just defiant. You know, we don't know how to act. We're not doing right. We can't follow the rules, and it's just not fair. It's not fair to us. We're human. We have lives. We have families. You know, we have stuff to do too. Do we just fold? Do we let our businesses just fold because a few people want to stay home or don't want us to get back to work because they feel all we do is cut hair, or it's about money? It's not. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
This
is our dreams. Right. This is our dreams. We fought for this. God, we've been in school. We've built our businesses from the ground up. Kenya's a world-renowned educator. I remember Kenya when I got out of BCom. You know, just to see how we've grown. We're not just behind the chair cutting hair, laughing and charging you guys a whole bunch of money for nothing.
Yeah,
and this is what we do. We put heart in this.
Yeah, and I'm a product of Tracy and Rob. I was that young kid that came out from LA that gave me a chance, you know? And because how I saw them so involved in the community and doing all those things, they helped produce who I am. And now I'm that thing I'm that person in the community giving back, teaching the other hairstylists that's coming up underneath me how to do the same thing.
Right. And I feel, and can you hear me?
We can hear you. And I just want to let you know that I unmuted you because there was an echo coming through. So
okay, yes.
You're unmuted right now. So go ahead. What would you like to say, love?
Yes. And so I feel the same way as Tracy and Steph just said. For me, being in the heart of downtown, like Tracy said, I mean, they would literally be at my door as well. I'm right there in the middle of everything. You just pass. So again, it's just really, really unfair. And it's actually a disrespect to our industry. You know, we know exactly the guidelines to follow, and we're prepared, and we are coming. And again, we're not going to stay silent. We're just going to be preparing as we're doing now. We have the things that we need to open up. We're essential. And again, everyone on this panel, we've been in this business for over 20 years. And we're highly respected in our industry, and we're educators. Again, we are, you know, here for our clients, and we mentor other people. You see, they have the school, a mixed institute, and, you know, and everybody's just suffering at this time. Again, people who work in our salons, and it's really devastating. So again, it is a slap in the face to me for us not to be considered essential. And then you have the other people who are, you know, like you said, the different restaurants, they're able to open up and, you know, provide services. And again, I know that people aren't dining in, but it's the fact that they're open and they're still able to make the amount of money with their customers. And so for me, again, I just say that we continue to prepare like we're doing, and we're just going all in, and baby, we are going to be fired up. I mean, nothing can stop us. We all the way up.
You know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to sit back and let someone take control of your life for months, and that same someone has not told me as a man when I can go back and start providing for my family. He's not told me what I need to do in order to prepare myself to go back to work so I can provide to my family. So we're just sitting in limbo. We're taking the first step in drafting all these protocols. No one is doing it for us. No one has reached out to us and said, hey, look, salons, our board of barber and cosmetology haven't reached out and say, hey, look, salons, when you guys come back, it's going to be A, B, C, and D, and we just want you guys to get prepared and da-da-da. We're sitting in limbo. Just imagine that. I just want people to imagine not being able to go to work, not being able to get in. And I hear people say all the time, well, you should know business 101. You should have saved more money and invested. And they don't know me. They don't know none of us on this panel, because that's what we do.
Hello. Amen.
Hello.
Amen.
That's why we were able to.
The Board of Barbering and Cosmetology, I think I sent it to you, Rob, about 2 days ago, said that they were reinforcing the state stand on stay at home, and any licensed professionals that are performing any services, they're coming after your license. So, So in a lot of places,
finally we got a letter. Thank you.
Yeah, the county, county actually said, hey, you know, I know I'm in Placer County, and I face some of the same stuff you do, Shari. As far as if I dare to open, knock, knock, knock.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But there are salons around me that are open. And they're going, and I'm like, did someone come in? Did someone agree? They're like, no. But it's the moment I opened, I was actually there just cleaning. Actually, I was with my stylist. I was giving them their final checks because although I have employees, so although I don't get paid, I make sure they're paid, right? Because that's just how we roll, right? So giving them their checks, this guy walks in. He was like, hey, are you guys going to haircuts? And I'm like, no, we're shut down. Oh, I was just checking, and walked off. You think that would have happened anywhere else? You think that happened at any other salons that got their doors wide open, no protective gear, no PPE, no anything? They're just doing hair. And then the Board of Barbering and Cosmetology go tell me that if I work, they go come from my license, my 20+ year license.
Yeah.
We need to advocate, and we need people behind us.
Right.
Hopefully this conversation is making people understand who's all on our timeline, talking all that mess. We just need to stay home. Understand that you guys are not, listen, somebody said this. We're all in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat.
Amen.
We're not in the same boat.
Amen.
Right. And I just want to who's that talking?
That was me. I'm sorry. I just want to say this. If you look at phase 3, the people that we are linked with curbside pickup service. We're linked with the mall where they can open up curbside. I mean,
y'all making them walk away. Don't walk away, Tracy.
I'm just saying, let it sink in. Let it sink in. They linked us with curbside, with Ross, TJ Maxx, where Ross can open up support curbside. That's what we're linked with.
That's a disrespect. That's a disrespect.
I agree. So we had a couple of comments coming in, and I didn't want to interrupt while you all were talking. But Jax, the editor-in-chief of Elk Grove Tribune, says she supports you all, and she wants to know what she can do to help you all stay in business, because we need you guys to continue to lift up our community.
Yes, exactly.
And you said something, sorry, about people are talking about you're just after the money. Ain't everybody else? It doesn't matter. Money is what you need to pay your expenses. Like it's not that you're just doing a money grab. You're just like everybody else who needs money to survive, especially in this economy. And I would just submit that we have to understand that Black businesses are not as well off as some of the other small businesses, because they are not infused with capital at the rate that the other folks are. And so when we start to talk to Black business owners, who 94% of them are sole proprietorships, when we start to talk to Black business owners, we have to understand what it took, the sacrifices that they made to build their business to where it is right now. We have to understand that, and we have to put it into context, because not everybody is functioning in well-off businesses. It didn't happen overnight. You guys put some blood, sweat, and tears about that, and you're to be commended for that. Not ostracized, not made to feel a certain way because you just want to go back to work to provide for your families. And I think that needs to be said. They may not label you essential, but you are essential to your families, right?
Absolutely.
And to our communities.
And our communities.
And our communities.
So y'all have kids, everybody has children. Y'all have children at home who are also dealing with the effects of the pandemic. And then the uncertainty of when you're able to go back to work. Can you kind of talk to us about, and I know we're going to wrap up pretty soon here. Can you somebody just briefly give me like a minute of how your children are doing with what's going on or transpiring around them? Go ahead, Rob.
My kids are stressed out a little bit because they see their mom and dad that are hardworking Jamaican folk at home. We used to having 3-4 jobs and working, and it's not like we're not doing anything. I mean, we're trying to be creative and do some other things. We are business people, but they see us stressed out, and that stresses them out a little bit. I don't tell my kids everything that we're going through, but they can see it written on my face.
Right.
And we try to be honest as we can with our kids, but it's a little embarrassing too. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
And,
We have great kids, but it is sad and it hurts, especially when you see them come. Hey, mom, if you guys need anything, let us know. And what do you do? Yeah.
And then you drive to your place of business to make sure it's okay. And as you're driving, you see all these people going to work. You see all these businesses open. Yeah. You see all these people that are supposed to be social distancing, not social distancing, not wearing masks, not doing any of that stuff that they're telling you you're the reason you can't open is because you won't do any of these things that I see people doing every day.
Right. Right.
And we've been doing those things, so we're trained to do more. It's not true. Whoever is spreading these lies got to stop. We got to stop.
Right.
So
we're just asking to go back to work safely.
Gotcha.
That's all we're asking for.
And everybody keep on saying it's unsafe, it's unsafe, it's unsafe. But listen, I say this I said this to someone yesterday. Getting in the car on the freeway is also unsafe. You can't control the other people in the other lane, but guess what? Your car got blinkers, it got a horn, it has everything that you need to try to be safe. We can't control anything, but being on that freeway is unsafe. But you're going to get in your car, you're going to have the things you need to try to be safe on that freeway. And that's all we're asking people to do. Allow us to get back to work and do everything that we possibly can do to be safe. We can't control anything else. We can do what we can do, which apply the gear, do the temperature, do the check, do everything that the doctor offices is doing now. Allow us to do it.
The reality is people are getting their hair done, period. That's the reality. People are getting their hair done. You would much rather get it done safely and stop the spread of this disease instead of you going to Joe Blow's house down the street with her and her 6 cousins and everybody coming in and out the house. And she got, you don't know who in there and who's getting their hair done. And then they got client on top of client on top of client and haven't put anything in quats, haven't sanitized, disinfected, anything. They just doing hair out the house. So we much rather have it done in a safe, control, sterile environment.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to try to get through these 2 questions, and I'm going to just, one of it is, how is it that other salons are opening and are skirting any fines, license revocations, or harassment? Kenya, 30 seconds. How is it that other salons are opening and are skirting fines, license revocation, or harassment?
We don't know if they're skirting them. We know they're opening and they're taking that risk. They're shooting dice. That's what they're doing. They're opening it up. They're shooting the dice, and if they get caught, they say, "Hey, I get caught," or that's what they're doing. They're taking the risk. A lot of times they don't have much to risk, but we do. We not only have salons. Me, Rob, Tracy, and Shar. We have a school. So not only do we have to be responsible with our salons, but we're representatives of a school, which means we represent the state board.
Right.
We don't have that. We can't just open up and say we're going to break the state board laws, although we teach them to you every day.
Right.
No, it doesn't work like that for us. The liabilities are higher.
Got you. And then the last question says, where can we send donations? Really quickly. Anybody?
We don't have anything set up right now.
But thank you.
Spread positive education about who we are. That's all we're asking.
You say that one more time, Rob.
Get the word out.
What they can do for us is spread positive education about who we are as barbers and stylists. We're essential. And people need to do some research to see about our training. We're not ignorant people like some people like to think we are.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so just spread some positive energy about our careers, our shops, our businesses, and that's all we ask.
Because and share the video.
Okay. Oh yes, share the video. We are more than just here. Is that the video we're talking about, or is there another one?
Yes.
More than just hair? Okay, perfect. So, we have to wrap up. I really hate that we have to cut the conversation short, but I'd like to thank Hair is Essential for joining me for this candid conversation. We'd like to thank you for watching, and we hope that we have shed some light on this topic for you. We will be coming back with more topics as we progress through this shutdown. So we want you to have a great night. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.
Beauty is essential, and we need your help. Make a 60-second video telling us how beauty is essential in your life. Make sure to hashtag it with beauty is essential and the number 2 so we can find you. Let's push this movement and get back to work. Thanks.